Yeah, I'm pretty sure if you went to any wellness center that had staff that behaved like the staff in this movie, no one would blame you if you burnt the place to the ground and salted the earth. Hi guys, today we're going to talk about A Cure for Wellness, the new movie directed by Gore Verbinski starring Dane DeHaan, Mia Goth, and Jason Isaacs. And as some of you know, this movie was on my list of top 10 most anticipated films for 2017. Because if you saw the trailers, they make this movie look very interesting. The visuals were very unsettling. It created the sense of paranoia that things aren't what they seem. And it just seemed like a more original take on the horror genre than we've seen come from Hollywood in a while. So I was excited about that. And I went and saw the movie with my friends Mike and Noma. And I tell you that because a movie with Mike and Noma is always a good time. We've been to the theater 3 times together, and I have yet to see a movie that sucks. And even if it did, I'm with Mike and Noma, so that's awesome. But there was something about A Cure for Wellness that really made me think. Like, when we first left the theater, I was like, yeah, that was a good time at the movies. And, it honestly was. I wasn't bored throughout the movie. I wasn't continually checking my watch. But things just didn't add up. So I thought about the movie for a while, and there were things that I liked about it and things that I didn't. So let's just start right from the bat and hold its little feet to the fire, because everyone loves a good roast. A Cure for Wellness has a lot of plot holes that don't necessarily tie together. And the marketing, as smooth as it was kind of false advertising, in my opinion. You watch the trailers thinking that you're going to see a psychological horror film, and that's really not what you get. Without giving too much away, it's more like a monster movie. Like, you remember those old Hammer horror monster films, or maybe the original Universal classics that are classics because they started the monster genre but are now kind of cheesy to us. It's kind of like that. That's not to say that there aren't things that I liked about the film, and we'll get to that. First of all, let's talk about the plot. The plot revolves around Dane DeHaan's character, who is this young, hotshot, corporate drone, kind of. He just got this promotion after the guy above him died, and he is looking to make a name for himself in this company. And the company sends him to Europe, to this wellness center, to bring back one of their senior partners who went on vacation and then mysteriously disappeared at this center after sending a letter saying that he wasn't coming back. But in order for the company to go through on this merger, they need his signature on some documents. So Dane DeHaan gets charged with going overseas and bringing him back. And Dane DeHaan is a good actor. I don't think I've seen him in anything before this film, but I found him interesting and talented enough to keep me invested in this character and to take this journey with him on this movie. And that says a lot about his skill as an actor, because honestly, his character isn't a nice guy. And don't get me wrong, you don't need your protagonist to be a nice person for them to be interesting. But I would say that his character has more brains than heart. We understand that he's very good at his job. He's ruthless when he needs to be. But the character development for him is kind of flimsy. I mean, he's supposed to go on this journey from being this kind of, douchebag broker who is really cool and really into material items and just, thinks the world of himself and his goals, to someone who goes on this terrifying ride, so to speak, the soul-searching ride where he has to ask himself, is the reality that I'm used to even real? What do I believe? Basically, every question that the major character asks, what am I doing with my life? And we never really see that arc develop. And so that was my only complaint there. The other acting is good. Jason Isaacs plays the lead doctor at the wellness center, and Jason Isaacs is an extraordinary character actor. You may not recognize the name, but I guarantee you've seen him in a lot of movies. He was in The Patriot. He was in Sweet November, which wasn't a good film either, but again, Jason Isaacs was the shining star in that film. And he's just an extremely capable thespian, and he does a good job here. Mia Goth plays a young charge of the wellness center who has lived there all her life. And this is another complaint I have with the movie. Mia Goth, she seemed like she did just fine in the role, but then the role really doesn't call for much. She plays this mentally unstable waif who is pretty in an off-putting kind of way, kind of quirky, kind of weird, not all there, and she does just fine. I mean, she doesn't make her performance overly campy or silly. It's just that we really don't get a lot of backstory on her, and so we really don't feel that much of a connection to her. Now, the things I liked about A Cure for Wellness is that Gore Verbinski knows his way around a shot. He knows his way around a camera. And there might be a few who say that it was too much in terms of the camera angles and the different shots that he uses in this film. I found them to be original and interesting, like seeing a character's reflection in the eye of a taxidermied animal head on the wall, a train going into a tunnel, and as you're watching it on the big screen, it feels like, you're leaning out the window of the train and that you're going to smack your head on the side of the tunnel. Things like that I thought were clever. The cinematography, again, is fantastic. There's a lot to be said for how well every single shot in this movie was used. I think it was filmed on location in Germany at an actual castle, and it is breathtaking. Like, you look at this place and you're just overwhelmed by the magnificence. It looks that good. So props to them. And also even the opening shots of New York City, when we're going through these skyscrapers and looking up at them in the gray twilight, and everything seems so just so grim and monolithic, and and it starts to generate that wariness, and you're like, oh, this is, what's going to happen? So props to the filmmakers for that. That is very well utilized. I am going to go into a little bit of spoilers here about really kind of what broke the straw on the camel's back, so to speak, for me about this movie. So if you really want to see this movie in theaters, I'll just say right now, I recommend that you wait till it comes out on DVD, or you can stream it. But if you really, really want to see it in theaters, just go ahead and turn this review off right now, because I do feel like I need to bring up the one thing that really made me raise my eyebrow and was like, really, movie? Really? You went there? So here we go. Mia Goth's character is portrayed as a minor in this film. Mia Goth herself, I'm not sure exactly how old she is, but I know she's in her early to mid-20s, so she's an adult woman. But the character she portrays, Hannah, in this film, is a minor. And there's a scene near the end of the movie that it's not a rape scene, but it's an attempted rape scene. And I just want to, get Gore Verbinski on the phone and be like, dude, really? Really? You thought you had to go there? We get lingering shots of her breasts. We get a very disturbing scene from the villain where he touches her, and you're just like, wow, that's a little bit over the top. Now, there are some people out there who will be like, well, it's supposed to be that way because rape is disturbing. Well, I don't need to see a minor being gratuitously molested on screen to know that. And if you're the type of person that doesn't think rape of a minor is disturbing, then, we really have nothing to talk about, because you've got your own issues there, my friend. So that was a point in the movie where they kind of lost me, and I just thought it was completely unnecessary, almost to the point of licentious hamminess, if that makes any sense. So, long story short, A Cure for Wellness. Is it a good movie? No. Is it a bad movie? No. Again, I appreciate an attempt to be original. Is the concept of the monster movie original, or, paranoid suspense films? No, of course not. There's a lot of different aspects in this movie that you've seen in other movies before, probably better played out, but I do appreciate the effort when there are so many remakes, when there's so many sequels. I do appreciate a filmmaker's effort to generate something different. And visually speaking, there's a lot about A Cure for Wellness that is different, that is fantastic, and if you wanted to watch it with the sound down, then, you'd probably see a very artful film. The use of sound is also used very well, and it helps create a sense of dread in the film. But it's not one that I think you should spend, $20, $25, hey, if you're bringing a date, $30 to go see in the theater. Just wait till it comes out on DVD or live stream it. So that's my thoughts on A Cure for Wellness. Have you guys seen it yet? What do you think? What's your favorite psychological suspense and or horror film? Comment below, clue me in. Please share with your friends and bring them in on the conversation. And as always, thanks for watching.